Well, hello everybody, and what a lucky day we have out here in New York City because it's actually, finally, warm and sunny, and everybody's walking around the streets of New York with a big smile on their face. And I actually have a very big, smile on my face as well today. So I wanted to welcome you once again for a little bit of a review. This is Vintage Red Spring 14. For some of you, this will be your first go-through with me, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Jonathan, and I am the VP of Vintage Red. I am one of the original architects of the brand, and we have been in the stores for 13 years now. You can always tell a Vintage Red customer by the way that he kind of likes to be seen, likes to be a little bit different, and likes to stand out a little bit. And that's what we like to think in regards to the Vintage Red collection and line. This spring, Macy's and Vintage Red put their heads together, and we kind of tooled the assortment a little bit differently. Because as you all know, a lot of you know, the selling floor had gotten a little bit crowded over the last year. So with the exit of certain brands and certain classifications, this whole area has been streamlined. And our wovens are going to be in only the doors that sit with premium denim. And all of our wovens have been designated to be on a fixture right next to premium denim. So when you go into the stores, you guys have from us, from Macy's, an actual, not planogram, but it'll show you on actual Macy's paper saying the store and Vintage Red, and that we sit with premium. So you're not going to fall into the same problem you've had in the past, where some doors only get, say, 4 styles, and there's no place to put it. For your first delivery, you are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 styles. So every single door is going to have 8 styles of Vintage Red. That is definitely enough to set up a fixture, and it is to be put with either 7 jeans, Hudson jeans, or there's 2 other brands that I can't think of at the moment, but it's going with premium denim. And if you have any issues with that, that is something to definitely call out in your reports or call back to Winston Corporate, that we should definitely be front and forward. We are the only woven brand that is going to be on this premium impulse better denim selling floor. So we should be getting front space, or we should be very close to the denim, and it should be a natural, and we shouldn't have a lot of competition. Also, the price ticket on these goods are going to be $59, but Macy's is also going to be promoting these goods very heavily. So quite often they'll be $39, and at times they'll even be $29. So again, we've built these goods to also be at a price point and to be promotional. So the collection might look a little bit different to some of you who are used to the old Vintage Red, with a piece or 2 that look somewhat similar. And then for the rest of you, since you never knew what the other Vintage Red looked like, it'll all be new and it'll all be fun. So I'm going to take you through a quick little walkthrough. So the first idea for spring is that there's a lot of blues. Blues sell incredibly well. Guys like blues, guys get blues, guys are comfortable with blues. That's one of the sort of changes or zigs or zags that we took with the Vintage Red line for spring, is to make sure that it has a little bit more of a mass appeal. It's still interesting, it's still on trend, but it's a little bit broader of an appeal. The first shirt that we're going to talk about is one of our trend pieces. Color blocking or pattern blocking is a really, really, really big trend. And here we did it in Oxford and a little bit of chambray. So both chambray denim has been and continues to be a really big trend in tops. So here you've got some chambray, Oxford, and then the whole blocking detail. This is actually a style that was originally out of the Vintage Red collection, so you can tell that it has a little bit more zip and fashion. If there's any ability to do mannequin presence, I would definitely get the color block shirt on it because it is definitely a fun trend summer shirt. Our next shirt is our famous cambric shirt. And cambric is a very, very, very high count cotton. We've run these before with Macy's. They've done incredibly well. So this season, or this delivery, we've run it in 2 colors, and then we have a flow back on our next delivery. And the cambric fabrication is a high count cotton, as I said. It's very, very, very soft to the touch, so guys really love the hand on it. It's this workwear silhouette where it's got 2 different contrast pockets, it's got the roll up, and it's got the bar tacking. Real easy, real comfy, easy go-to shirt, and the colors are really very nice. The next shirt is one of the big trends again for spring, and definitely one of the original shirts out of our collection, and it is a horizontal stripe. So everybody's used to vertical stripes in woven shirts, but this is a horizontal stripe. And here everything is very sort of gray based. So we're either doing blues or grays. Again, so understandable, so easy. And this shirt also has the whole color block theme, where you have the solid collar, the solid pocket. So you're really pulling in a couple of different themes here. The horizontal stripe and the blocking. And this is done on an Oxford cloth. So we're continuing that whole Oxford chambray feeling as far as the fabric goes. Continuing in horizontal stripes, we have a dobby. So it's a textured stripe. So it's really nice to the touch because it gives more of a perceived value when you have a raised stripe. It also has epaulets on it, so it's just an easy trend shirt with a little bit of a button tab. Great blues summer shirt. What would Vintage Red be without our famous print shirts for spring? And here we have one of the biggest trends coming on, which is the ditzy print, or the small print. And it's a small floral done in blue and white that almost comes across as a non-solid solid. The print itself is almost secondary, but it is a print. So again, it's a print that a guy might feel very comfortable wearing because it's not that loud and he's not calling all that much attention to himself, but it's still not just a solid or a stripe. And again, it is a roll-up shirt. Plaids always continue to sell. An easy plaid, it's a white ground plaid, so it's these big open plaids with a lot of white ground, really springy. Again, it's a roll-up and really easy to wear. It's also, a lot of these shirts are trimmed with chambray. So that's one of the important things too, is to make sure that if it's in the cuffs or in the neck, that you're displaying the fact that it has the chambray or the denim, which plays back to the other shirts and then also talks very much to trend. So if you really look at putting like these 2 guys together, you get a really great spring feeling, and it's very understandable. That's one of our key words for this spring, understandable. We talked already about the second colorway in the cambric. It's a nice deep color. And then lastly, we take what looks like almost like a chambray ground in a vertical stripe. So we're stripes again, excuse me, I'm so excited, I'm coughing. Where you have the vertical stripe, here it has almost a end-on-end or chambrayed feel to it. So it's really easy with khakis, denims, shorts. I mean, this should definitely be an easy go-to shirt, and yet it has that whole chambray feel. So that's our first delivery. This is all going to be in store for you guys in March, April. We just shipped it 310 XRDC, so you guys should be on the lookout for it. I think most of your visits are April in store to get these goods out and set. The next flow back is starting with one of the big trends, and this was another shirt that was right out of the Vintage Red collection, is the whole Hawaiian floral. And we were just up at Macy's for their overviews for Fashion Spring 15, and they're still talking about the whole floral Hawaiian destination print. So here we've got the kickoff of the whole Hawaiian destination print, and this is actually what we call our quote-unquote Andy Warhol print. It's not really Andy Warhol's, or we'd probably get sued, but it is sort of like one of those big exploded patterns, and it has some really great colors in it. And these colors are also very much what you'll see for spring, mixing the blues with these sort of like softer colors. They don't want to go as far as calling them pastels, but they're definitely soft colors. Also, this print is done what we call on the reverse. So it's a very interesting technique. The piece goods are printed normally as we would do, but the shirt is actually cut and sewn on the reverse to give it that more washed, faded out look. So not only is it on the cambric, because sort of has a great hand, being again that high count cotton, not only is it done on the reverse to give it that faded look, and then it's washed. So it's a great trend. This would be for your second delivery, an awesome piece to get up on a mannequin for sure. Now, all stores again will be getting the second delivery. So you will have this opportunity to have more goods, so there's 3 SKUs for the second delivery, or the last delivery, and that will feed in nicely and works totally with the first delivery. So we come back with the cambric and the classic white, which should be perfect for a Mayan store. And then we have another horizontal stripe that is done in the blues, with again sort of almost like a little bit of a chambray feel in the stripe. Not true chambray as far as you feel it with your fingers, but a chambray feel in that you have the crossing of the yarns. So you have the solid and the white crossing, and it has almost like a little bit of a white or heather effect, just like you would see in denim. So you can see that this would flow very nicely anywhere on the fixtures. Of what may be left from your first delivery. So this is really a little bit of a departure from where we've been. It's still who we are, but we're going big. And when I say big, I mean big in that we want to go after more customers. So set it up and bring them in.